Well, I found a girl, beautiful.
Hello? Yeah, I'm on a live video. So, you called. So, what's up? Yeah, my friend is around. Told you. My childhood friend, the electrician guy, is my friend. It's in the compound. It's him. Just in case he's trying my number, you can reach me through this one. Because I'm on live video. Later. Alright. Anyway, Wadomo. A good woman. How do I say it? I'm quite. I traveled. I had emergency while we are all. There's a sort of an emergency currently in Lagos. It's been a doeful, you know. We I'm having a very crucial meeting with some very top Edo people in Lagos tomorrow because of some conspiracy against our history and conspiracy against the royal monarch. So some of us who are opportuned to get first class information about all of these conspiracies are doing everything within our power and minds, enabled by God and our ancestors, to be able to avert it before it gets to the public. So a lot of things are ongoing, still private, but in few weeks, a lot of conspiracy against us and the royal house will gradually start coming to the public domain. So, but I want us to be rest assured that those who the ancestors have empowered on the matter, we will not rest until we completely quell all of the conspirators against our history and the monarch. So it's an emergency travel. So I'm quite tired. In my query last week hotel now. You know. Well, me looking at it, today is a football match. Man, I was saying, what men, man, what we are, I enjoy life. I enjoy life with time, but I just have to turn them down. That I have a live video, and likewise, I'm also very tired. So I'm a why I relax equal. So I haven't said that it's nothing to be worried about. God and our ancestors are, are in full are in full control. Well, a lot of people have been sending me posts about a trending topic going on about some set of people who is into tribal whatever. Um, if you know me very well, I've been doing my live videos years and years before a lot of people started doing on Benin matters. So to an extent, I'm almost a veteran. In all of my 4 5 years on the social media space, if you know me very well, I don't engage in discussing about people individual because I don't want to give relevance to some people who are not important. I've been dealing with very important people for the past 4 to 5 years who are very educated, who's literate, who's smart, who is you know. So I cannot now. Uh, it's not a matter of pride, though. It has nothing to do with pride. I cannot now stoop myself low to discuss about one non-entity. I won't discuss. I can discuss about his lies. I can discuss about his lies if he's trying to deceive the people, but I can't discuss about his person. May I discuss it, Biakani? Hello? Hello? Annie here. Oh, yeah. Wrong number. Mm. So, I mean, itano wedega agalan na agalan or you fin agilile okpofin, you know. So I can't be discussing about him because it's too small for me to be discussing about. Hello? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, Domo. Mm. Might just want about the bit the real life video. Yeah, that big one was like, yeah, that big one was like, mm. Dom, dom. So, all right. But those who wishes to discuss about him should just go ahead and discuss about whatever they want to discuss about. They are, see, like I said, we've received secret intelligence reports in the past 4 to 5 days. That is worrisome. Very, very important intelligence report. I'm not going to talk about it, but in few weeks, you people will start to see it manifest. There is a great conspiracy by those on top against us as Benin people, and most especially the royal house. We are doing everything secretly to find a countermeasure, to find a countermeasure for what is to come. What is to come will be big. When I wrote that article 2 weeks ago about the conspiracy about the royal house, there was a reason I wrote it. When I write something, know that there's a reason. There's a reason why I had to write it. Because I wanted people to understand that Okasuno there, when I'm talking about conspiracy, I'm talking about conspiracies from high places. All right. So there will be an emergency meeting in Lagos before the week runs out. That's why I'm here. And I'm not going to talk about the meeting that we are holding here, but it's for the good of the kingdom. So when I have all of these things to think about, I can no longer be thinking about irrelevant issues. Along the line, during this same week, some of us had a very tough historical argument about some Benin people. Now, this is Yasir Mame for now, about Omanatia, Natia Obanugu, Ugu Kingdom, and all of that. I remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I was still using the Great Benin page, an extensive, I did an extensive, I did an extensive discussion on the Ugu Kingdom versus Benin Kingdom and all of that. So, but today I want to discuss about it. Uh, so basically, but today, please, I want us to pay very keen attention because I hardly pick a topic. If I pick a topic, I pick a topic for a reason. There are some very foolish Benin people, very foolish, who are hiding under a particular history, in order to cause problem in Benin Kingdom. And that is why this live video will be very important. I want to completely. Hello? It will be a real live video, so I might not be able to take your calls. Whatever you have, you discuss it with them. With that. Huh? Okay, now inside. That's a big wala. All right, you don't tell them. You give more to go where I'm happy. Hello? No, no. That boy supposed to give you money now for transport fare. Hmm? Uh, no. If you go my own apartment in any than the middle one, if you climb the staircase, the right, they follow me, they argue, always stay your one here to be. On one river, or having the average, may not real one. No, the other man not real 1 or 2,000. Oh, mm. Why will I appreciate? I apologize. I've when in Arowa, a lot of things. I'm doing working in my house. Can you help me give my friend 1,000, please? Thank you. Sorry, I think I'm fully settled. Bro, can't you be using Benin? Well, there's not. It's Edo. The language that we speak is Edo. It's not even Benin. Yeah, yeah, but okay. Well, it's not something I'm proud of, but I think I'm more fluent when I speak English. Um, so Abe Tima Soro, there are some couple of our brothers who are hiding under some aspect of our history to cause unnecessary rancor. And I want to use this live video to bury those age-long fallacies. Those age-long fallacies. Age-long fallacies. Some people, in order to feel relevant, have been given from very stupid and nonsensical titles to themselves. One, the idiot that me and him we had a very fearsome quarrel. He said his name is Oliyare Obanogu. I want to completely rubbish some of these people so that they will know that their stupidity and ignorance, their ignorance, illiteracy cannot stop Benin for being Benin. All right? Their stupidity, their ignorance, and their illiteracy cannot hold us back. The idiot accused me that I'm a paid palace historian. It is expected that people normally or usually will accuse me that I'm being paid for what I do. It is expected though. I completely understand that. Maybe because of the way I defend the palace. All right. But the truth is, I love my land and I'll do everything to protect the interest of my land. And I don't need to be paid. I have never been paid. I don't need to be paid. Um, Ugu Kingdom versus Benin Kingdom. It is a very interesting topic, and I want you all to pay very keen attention to this very interesting topic that some people want to start using as propaganda. We're going to talk about it. We're going to take it. Um, Auntie Golden Heart, take her to I beg, leave that guy. I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. I don't. I would not want us to discuss about that guy's matter on my platform. I beg, Lao. Pay attention to what is most important. Because tomorrow now, some of you now will constantly call me. They tell me, say, they hear say there was a kingdom that Benin kingdom was divided into two. There was a kingdom. Say now all those ones say now then come get Benin. Una better listen now. So I'm gonna learn the story and forget about that non-entity. Someone who is not important. You guys don't make this guy feel relevant. Everybody has to be thinking like a Zodowa. See, I will address if he's lying against our history. I will address those lies. If he's saying anything wrong about our history that is confusing to you, you can bring it to this platform. We will address the lies. But like I said, Izodua or any of Izodua's platform is too big. All right? It's too big. It's too big to discuss about him. I can't. Yeah, then maybe a lot of you people, or should I screenshot a lot of our chats? How how I was probably like a mini god to him. How he tapped from my knowledge. So is it not that kind of a guy who will now be discussing his matter? How do you know Botonia? I think that's what he said, that he's older than I am and all of that. But I beg, please, concentrate on this very topic is really, really very important. Walao. Exactly. Now, this is someone that is from Ugu Kingdom. Now, get it very clear. That's what we want to address. Vod balls, IQ. You are not from Ugu Kingdom, you are from Benin Kingdom. Ugu Kingdom no longer exists. And that's the essence of this story. Uh, that's the essence of this story. All right? That's the essence of this today's class. Now, listen to this very interesting story. Very, very exciting. After the interregnum of Benin, After the interregnum of Benin, the Oromiyan came. Oromiyan gave birth to Obaiweka, who eventually became Obaiweka the first, and Obaiweka the first gave birth to many children, many sons and many daughters. The first of his son was called, listen, Uwaihwae. I want you guys to pay attention to this very topic. It is very important. Don't get distracted. You guys pay attention to this topic. If it is not important, I want to make it even a topic on. Pay attention and let's concentrate on this topic. It's really very important. And don't distract us on this platform. Please. Until I'm done. Obaiweka gave birth to many sons and daughters. Obaiweka the first. Sons and daughters, a lot of them. His first son was Uwaihwae. By right, all right, by right, Uwaihwae is the first son. Automatically, he becomes the next Oba of Benin, which he eventually became. Now, Oba Uwaihwae gave birth to just a daughter, Omame Omokbia. I'm talking about Oba Uwaihwae is now the grandson of Oromia, the great-grandson of Ogiso Owodo, the son of Eweka. Oba Uwaihwae was the first son of Obaiweka the first, and he became an Oba. But he did not give birth to a male son. So instead, he gave birth to just a daughter. The name of that daughter was called Princess Imadeyo. Take note. The name of that daughter was called Princess Imadeyo. Princess Imadeyo now married a Benin, someone from Oedo, and they sired a son called Prince Elegbe. They sired a son called Prince Elegbe. Let me give the chronology again so that we can get it. Obaiweka had a son who became an Oba called Oba Uwaihwae. That Oba Uwaihwae had no sons of his own. Instead, he had a daughter, just a child, which was a daughter. The history remembers her to be Princess Imadeyo. The Princess Imadeyo now gave birth to a son called Prince Elegbe. Prince Elegbe now became a direct descendant of Oba Uwaekwan, but through the maternal blood. Now, Princess Imadeyo, the mother of Prince Elegbe, Iye, that is Prince Elegbe's grandmother, came from a community, a village called Umowo. Umowo now is now called Umowonzoagbo. Prince Elegbe's grandmother, that is Iye no Biye Prince Elegbe, came from a community called Umowo. That is a community. Iye no Biye Prince Elegbe Kiri. I'm trying to establish some of these very vital points. It will help us during the course of the history. Now, Prince Elegbe, however, is a direct descendant of Obawakwaan, but through maternal line. So he wanted, by right, to be the next Oba of Benin. The Benin, the Ihogbe, who determines who will present historically from history, Norioba, that will present it to the Usama. The Usama role is to crown. Omani Ihogbe presents in Usama or Usama crown. It has always been. It is Usama do not participate in the selection process of the king. It is not their role because they don't know who is the first son of the Oba of Benin or who is the right heir to the throne. Their own is that once the Ihogbe had presented it to them, they will crown. But now, there was a problem. The problem is, Prince Elegbe felt that he's a direct descendant of his grandfather. Automatically, he's supposed to be the next Oba of Benin. But the chiefs understood that Egbiye Oya Ovioba, through the maternal line, all right, Oya Egboba, not through patrilineal Egbera. Instead, they now looked for his grandfather, which is about Uwakwan's younger brother, which was called Prince Ehemie. That Prince Ehemie has a legitimate claim also to the throne. So there were now two candidates. Prince Elegbe, the grandson of Oba Uwakwan, then Prince Ehemie, the younger brother of Oba Uwakwan, who is a grand uncle to Prince Elegbe. These were the two aspiring possible candidates for the throne of the Ogisos. But it's a problem. What will the Edo people now do to curtail another problem that might create another interregnum? You know, they just came out from interregnum not even long ago. The Oromi and Duduwa interregnum of about 70 years. What do we do now to curtail this situation? Then I said, who will eventually be able to bury Oba Uwakwan by providing, in other words, they seek for the native doctor, Obo, to come and provide solution to the problem. Then when the native doctor came, he now said, one of the most important ritual material for the burial of Oba Uwakwan, whoever that can be able to provide it first, automatically will become the Oba of Benin. He gave them a prescription. Noga meba mo emila naka boko yohun. Noga meba mo emila na aha. It's aha. No boko yohun. Emila, it's emila in Benin. It's not cow. It's ox. So some of you who understand English, ox, O X, abi O X, ox. Then aha is the weaver bird. You understand? Like the ox, the emila was a domesticated animal in old. All right, but omenso nogi doye no dek bene. Then they are not like wild. They are wide. They are not like wild animals. So because of they hardly move, they now have their horns are now as thick and big as a stem of a tree. That the weaver bird, Nedotia aha, mistake the horn of this emila as a stem of a wood. Or the bokoyo will now build a nest. So emila naha bokoyo, translated in English, it means an ox that the weaver bird has built a nest on its horn. Whoever that can provide that ritual material, all right, whoever that can provide that ritual material will be crowned the Oba of Benin. That was a ritual material. Now, to the Benin people, those in Benin, it was a myth. They have never heard of whether that kind, they have never heard the Fred Agbekan, you relax. The person who told the story, who documented the story, is one of the brightest Orion scholar till date. Late Dr. Aishen is probably the first medical surgeon trained in University of London in the history of Orion. His grandfather, Idemudia, was the only survivor of the war. Nama, that was not, the British did not penalize or sentence to death Idemudia. Idemudiani, he's the founder of Oben. And Idemudia, that's my mentor's grandfather, his own father, Aishem, became the first BTC secretary. That he was the first secretary of the palace. And he was also an Onsa of Ole Arosa. So he came from a long line of historian. So he has documented it. So those Umogunokwa lies that you guys are talking about, it's what I want to correct. There's nothing like Umogunokwa at the time of this history. The original Umogun, it's Umogunehere, which is Umogun Ozwagbo. And that is what I want people to analyze. And I'll give you reasons. I'll give you statistics why Umogunokwa is now seen as greater than Umogun Ozwagbo. But like I have said, at this time, it was one of the sons of Elegbe that went to found Nagiti Umogunokwa. So that means Elegbe was already existing. Umogunehere was already existing. I will explain all of this. Just calm down. Exactly. Late Panashan wrote the most extensive, a full book was written on this matter. And before he died, I had interviewed him on this matter. So I have a first-class knowledge. I have a first-class knowledge on this matter. So, now, according to the Benin elders, it was a myth. Egba Ameni, Ero, Amion, it doesn't exist. According to the Benin, the people in present-day Benin city, it doesn't exist. But they didn't know that in Iyekoreon, that animal exists. All right? And all of that. So, then when Prince Elegbe was told, and I said, okay, he carried a lot of its cultures, a lot of his servants and all of that, and they embarked on a travel to his grandmother's village. Get on your say, you know, pay attention. Iye no biye came from a community called Omoro. Omoro Atiae. That was the original name. Ogis Seva, when he got to the village, passing through the Igbe, crossing the Evaroe, the Igbe River, crossing through the Evaroe, crossing Igbehwe. All right. Then VNCT Adana, the 5 junction at present day Ugoni Ekorion, Adanako. There was a mighty tree, Nana Atiako. It was a very mighty tree. They said it was still there till even in the 80s. It's a legendary tree that's in the 5 junction where you can branch to that. If you're going straight, whether you're going to Ronigbe, whether you're going to the side of Oben or going to the side of Umogonswagbo, or if you're going straight Ewesi and all of that. Omowo, that was the original name. When he got to the village of Omowo, that's where his own grandmother came from. Iye no bi Yiye, the maternal grandmother. You understand? Ewakere, Ogisewa, he told those people and told them that Watokbe yari obabedo, but avenido mo emilana ahaboko yohun. All right? And the elders of the village told them, Atokbe, my prince, emilani owakoyo kore, and he saw a lot of all of these animals. All right? It was a myth to them in Benin City, but they never really knew that this thing existed. It abounds in the thick forest of Yekoreomo. It abounds. You understand? So, and they said they were willing to give him when he was ready to return back to Benin. All right? Then the Benins felt that they have cajoled him. All right? Felt that they have cajoled him. So eventually he was given, when after some few days, about setting out back to Benin, then they had to, they saw a perfect description. Emilana Ahabokoyon, they actually brought it, get it prepared for the journey back to Benin. So it was coming to Benin. So the Benin now heard that a Prince Elegbe Ogele Mie Aemenine. So instead, Emila, they just that Adanako that is I think I saw some. It's inside that Adanako. That is where Ugo came from. Ewake Bugo. I'm going to give you all of this story. Adani Sewa, everybody that is going must stop there. That is the heart of Ugo. All right. Okay, we'll go in there. So, like I was saying, Anagele me. So Edona do one yengele miamilanine. Instead, in their own and why boedoku charades, they just look for one emila. Then wa miamila, yana wa gwale aha nest, yana wa moyo ugon abigon the horn. Then yana yamione. Then they just quickly ask Prince Ehemian to perform the rites, the burial rite of Obawai, its elder brother. All right, they just quickly performed it and they quickly crowned him the Oba of Benin. So then Prince Elegbe has already gotten to a place now called Oka. He has gotten to a place now called Oka when the news got to him that Amobabe Nevedo, that his grand uncle has just been crowned as the Oba of Benin. He felt pained. He felt betrayed. He felt pained. He felt betrayed. I don't know how to explain how he felt at that moment, because to him, the line of his grandfather has just been cut off. And Obawai lines will never going to experience what it takes to be the Oba of Benin ever again. He felt betrayed. At that point in time, where the news met with him, he ruled a line and planted an ihimi tree there. He created an enogie. The enogie is still there to date. And called that place Oka. That place has always been called, but that Oka, he called it Oka no Mogun. Not Nomayo. It's Oka. It's close to the market. Oka no Mogunwe, where the war begins. That's what it means. No Mogunwe, where the war begins. He wrote a line and said that Kemarie Ekiniemu Keda. Oh, okay, I think he now turned. He now backed Benin, he now faced Orion. Like Kema Bari Kiniemu Dada. Niemauda Nyoginya. He declared a kingdom of his own immediately. He declared a kingdom of his own immediately. He therefore now created a sort of a vassalage, a nedutie, ago enibode, a centering camp, using the enogi that he created at Oka like a centering camp to be able to give him feedback should in case Edo Mokobu in a day. So he created a centering camp. Benins are always known historically to always create centering camps. Just like when we created a centering camp at a place now called Agenebode. From the Benin word, Ago Enibode. That's a century cap. People who wash. They tell Ema de now. When I ask Ema you there, no get they tell Ema Mukode all the time doing Mukode. A century cap from Ago Enibode. That century cap was created during the time of Benin Ida War. It was created during the time of the Benin Ida War. That's the century cap. All right. Exactly. So he created that at Okanumogoen. He created an enoge. That's why they still have an enoge. That enoge that he created was created by Prince Elegbe. The enoge is still there. Was created by Elegbe. All right. So he created it, and he moved. He moved and went to his maternal grandmother's village, Omowo, where he had gotten that Emilanaka Bokoyon in the first place, and still there. There became the capital. I want people to listen because this is where I'm having issues with some people who are not trying to take the glory of another and give it to another. It's although I've never said that Ugu Kingdom never once existed. Never once existed. It no longer exists. Never once existed. It existed. But the capital of Ugu Kingdom was at Umogo, which is now called Umogo Nzwagbo. All right? Once existed, and it was there. That was the capital. For hundreds of years, for about 400 years, Ugu Kingdom had existed independent from Benin. And it is the descendants of Elegbe that was the ruler, every first son. So Elegbe had about 11 children. Elegbe had 11 children. The first of his line became the Enogie. The first is when Elegbe died, his first son became the next Obanugu. All right. His second son was called Olodagweze. He crowned himself. He didn't leave. Elegbe never left Umo Wagbo. I don't know what your question. You understand? So Elegbe never left there. There was a capital. The one you guys now call Mogunehiri or Mogonswagbo was a capital for 400 years until Obaihengboda, who eventually conquered the Ugu Kingdom, brought war to Ugu Kingdom. And his camp, where Ekenobe Campi was called Urewe. Urewe till the 80s, because Obaihengboda built camp there, created Iya, because he stayed there for quite a very long time. There are some things that were replicated. There are Ikun, there are Iya, a Hengbuda market that was created because he spent some time. Urewe was where he planned, he orchestrated the master plan of defeating the Obanugu at that time, which was called Igeon. Igeon was the last Obanugu, was the last king of Ugu Kingdom. Igeon was his name, and it reigned during the time of Obahenguda. Now, like I was saying, Elegbe had 11 children. His first son eventually took the mantle of leadership from him. His second son was called Olodagweze. Olodagweze was left Umowo, the capital, to establish an alternative Umowu, which is now regarded as Umowu Norhwa. So that means every Enogi of Umowu Norhwa ancestrally is a younger brother to every Enogi of Umowu Nzwagbo. That's what it means. That is the first thing I want to establish for people to know. All right, that is the first thing I want to make people know. All right. Igeon was the last Obanubu. He was defeated. When he was defeated, he ran to a place in present-day Ekpoma, and after some time he came back. Obahenguda gave him a pardon. All right, and now made him subservient, because at the time the war came, the war was so mighty on the Umogonzwagbo. It was so mighty that a lot of their wives, almost all their wives, ran to the other Umogun, which is the Umogun Norhwa. And because of the population that left the original Umogun, went to populate the another Umogun, it now swelled. When the war ended, Igbama, Nokba, Nikale, Yoha, and all of that, they also went to join their mothers and their wives at what you now refer to as Umogu Norhwa today. So Umogu Nehere or Umogu Nzwagbo reduced in size. The population that it had already populated the other Umogu that is now regarded as Umogu Norhwa today. All right. When Igeon was roundly defeated, it is even in the records of Umogu Nzwagbo or many atohanie that Owa Amokbera, that there was a mighty tree. It is written, it is detailed, it's recorded apocryphally. I know for some of you who have been following our stories, I've always told you that most of the stories in Benin is apocryphal. The real story was that Umogu Nzwagbo and destroyed and completely vanquished them until they had to, it was Umogu Norhwa that was the first community to submit to the power. I'm going to give you the updates now. It's because Umogu Norhwa was the first community amongst all Inugu kingdom that submitted to the power of Obahenguda. That is why Obahenguda empowered Umogu Norhwa. But I'm coming there. Now, I always say that Bini Ohagedo or my Temi Yagwe Eriedo Yatoha. The apocryphal story tale of the original story of Obahenguda when Obahenguda Yamoko Yagwe was that Owa Okberan. A lot of you have heard the story. Owa Okberan Ohwa no care or where Ogioria Ogie Umogu Nzwagbo. There was a big mighty tree that was very close to the palace. Now, this tree was about to fall on the palace building. In order for the youth, the women, wanted to hold, they wanted to hold the tree. No, when my uncle used to tell me that story, I used to say, so Iran, when Iran, I mean, the very Iran, Igedu, or one more by, was about to fall on an Enogi's house. Then the people didn't want the tree to destroy their Enogi's house. Instead, they all assembled to hold the tree while the tree is falling. So that it doesn't destroy the Enogi's house. Instead, the tree fell, crushed all of them, and destroyed the Enogi's house. It is an apocryphal way of saying the tree. The tree represents Obahenguda and his military might. How he crushed Umogu Nzwagbo. That is how we tell. That is how we tell the story. And there's also a story that that it's also very common to even the Umogunokwa. The one I just said is the one of Umogonzwa, but the one that's common is the pot of good luck. That originally a pot of good luck was given to one of the sons of Elegbe, and it was carried and buried at the center. Was buried at the center of Umogunokwa. That is why good luck started coming. A lot of good things, a lot of people in other communities started coming. It tells of the story that yes, Umogunokwa wasn't as great as it was initially. It was the people who ran from Umogunzwagbo. That is why the word Ozwagbo came from the word Umogun Nozwogbe. Yeah. Why did the people call them Nozwogbe? Because everybody was aware of the military might of Obaeng Buddha. Everybody was aware of the military might of Obaeng Buddha, that Obaeng Buddha's military might can crush the uncrushable. Instead, it was stupidity and foolishness that made the Umogun, the original Umogun, I've said that the original Umogun is not Nokwa, that made the original Umogun people to want to engage in a warfare with with Obaeng Buddha as in military might. So Edonawe Umogun Ozwogbe, that it was foolishness that when one a bad boy, it's just like me, I go just see the world's strongest man now. As I say, as me as me now rubber like this, I just say this guy get chest. You understand? I say I want to follow the guy all ground. And I know say this guy will fit beat me, but I want to follow the guy all ground. So I don't have a Umogun Ozwogbe, that it was foolishness. If they weren't foolish, they were supposed to have ordinarily submitted to the power and might of Obaeng Buddha's military. Otherwise, the destruction that was meted out on them, they couldn't have been destroyed as much as they were destroyed. I don't know Umogun Ozwogbe in order to compress it, and I tell Umogonzwagbo. That Umogonzwagbo is the home and was the headquarter of Ugu Kingdom, not Umogunokwa. Not Umogunokwa. All right? But because when the war came, the Umogun that is now called Nokwa Noro, that has the epithets of Nokwa, the bigger Umogun, submitted first. And because of that, Obaeng Buddha found them as a reliable someone you can rely on the people you can rely on. In other words, he now gave the Duke, which is the Enogi of Umogun Nokwa, he now gave them. There was never any time that there was an Obanugu in Umogun Nokwa. The Oba, not the Obanugu, was at Umogonzwagbo. Never at any time in history that it was at Umogun Nokwa. I've just told you, Umogun Nokwa is stealing the glory of Umogun Nehere. And that is the plain truth. Although, because they submitted on time, even before the war, they were given the privilege of becoming the head amongst all the Elegbe established dukes and dukedoms. So the Oba of Benin gave the Umogun Nokwa first amongst equal. And that is why he now created the epithets of Obanugu. He's not saying that, he's saying that he's the first, he's the head of all. What Obanugu means is not Oba as a king in reality. Obanugu means that he's the first amongst all of the Ugu dukes, because he was given the political and the traditional wit amongst every other person. But there is a practice that is still being practiced till date to verify that Umogonzwagbo was the original headquarter, was the original, the only headquarter of Ugu Kingdom. Adi Kwegbe of all the Ugu dukedoms till date. Ask. All right? It's not a matter of Wesley Egwaehato. It's not a matter of who knows it better. It's not a matter of who knows it better. I don't know why Benin's always think that I know this thing better and know this thing better. It's not a matter of who knows this thing better. There's already a written works about this matter. And someone who knows it far better than you do already wrote it. So Adwi Kwekbe amongst the Enogi of that are Elegbe descendant. Me I say here Obemila the Hindlip Omenatie Namune, he's still accorded the right to the best part of the meat. Where obey where I am is still given to the Enogi of Umo Wagbo till date, as a sign of a respect that is the home at which every other descendant of Elegbe migrated from. Like I've said, it's just like you have Okaije-san, which is domiciled at Irwa. Is the head of all Enigis in Enigi of Okaoro Ogie Awogie-san. Is the head. That is the Enogi of Irwa. Is the head of all the Enigi in Esan land. Is the first amongst equal. It doesn't mean that other people are not Enogi. They have the same right, but he's just first amongst equal. In case they want to take decisions, all right? The decisions will be presided by him. Is your Kao Jesan. It's first amongst equal. So that's how Umogunokwa Jukdom or Enogi became first amongst equal amongst all Elegbe descendants. That is the Ugu Jukes. All right, but however, another point that we must understand is that the meeting that was being conducted amongst all of the Ugu kingdoms were never done at Umogunokwa. Because when Ehembuda brought war to Ugu kingdom, he was domiciled at Urewe. And when he had completely vanquished them, all matters of within the former Ugu kingdom territories were decided at Urewe. Even before now, almost all the meetings that concern the Ugu kingdom, if it's to be decided among them, must be done at Urewe and not Umogunokwa. That is another point that we must notice. In our next class, I'm going to talk about all the 11 children of Elegbe, how they established a lot of other communities around. Some went to, one of his grandson, Ekmenede, went to Urunigbe. He died. His elder brother had to go and exhume his body, came to bury him in the front of the palace of the Enogi of Ewesi. He had a powerful spear, and that is what culminates to Ishioko, the Shoko festival that has been done in Ewesi in 3 years. It's a reminiscence of the heroism, of the bravery of Ekpenede, who was a grandson of I'm going to, in our other subsequent class, I'm going to Yar Unique all the 11 children, the male and the female, the colonies, how all of them left. Like I've already established, it is his Elegbe's second son, or boy, Umowu Nokwa, Nagiti Umowu Nokwa, Nagiti Oladagweze, Imagua pronounce, Dodan Logo, Kiri, Imagua pronounce, you understand? See, I'm not interested in Umowu Nokwa. Get it? In the topic stated on top here, It was not Umowunokwa that is the topic, it's Ugu Kingdom. And get to know, I'm from Orion too. All right? I'm from Orion too. So nobody has if you have a contrary opinion as to the story that I have said, you write your own book. Let the Umowunokwa people, those who are completely deceiving people historically, let them publish their own book. Let them have a book. At least my community, Igbekwe, I wrote a book about my village. So the Umowunokwa people should also write, and so that we can compare notes. A lot of people have written about Ugu Kingdom, and also citing that some of the glory that Umowunokwa now possesses wrongly doesn't belong to them. And I'm a Benin historian. I'm not an Umowunokwa historian, I'm only Ugu Kingdom historian. So it's of concern to us that our history has to be well placed the way it should be placed. And if you have contrary opinion, according to Chinua Achebe, he said the best way to answer, to counter whether a lie or truth is to write. Then you write. I've seen two Umowunokwa historians coming to me that they wanted to publish a book. That this is how it is, this is how they do, stating that Idu was the son and all of that. And I've been able to tell them you cannot reconcile the differences because they are wrong. But anyway, let me not argue. I'm used to you people not wanting to get the truth because of lies upon lies and upon lies. And that's what it's otherwise all about. I've been flogging Yoruba people, Ishekiri people, and all of that for their lies. So let me not also carry my cane to flog my own people for lying, for trying to bend story, for trying to So the bottom line of the history today is that Ugu Kingdom no longer exists. It doesn't exist. It once existed. Ehengbuda vanquished it. It no longer exists. And Obanugu is just an epithet, first amongst equal. It doesn't make him an Oba. Like I've said before, it is not only him. I don't know why some people, because of arrogancy of history, Oba is also an Oba. It doesn't make him an Oba. It doesn't mean that because he has an epithet. Yes, because he was once an Oba. It was once an Oba. I did a documentary of almost about 47 minutes of Obani Yedo. It has the appellation of an Oba. Even we have one called Obani Yekiya. If you people don't know that, that's also an appellation of Chief Oswan. Obani Yekiya. It's also an appellation. It doesn't not make him that Nyogi Yedo. You know. So most of these things were appellation as a result of the history of the world that is not longer in conformity with the reality of today's history. You know. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we started our class early today for some reasons. The reason is because I know it's on our live football match. Understand? So 8 o'clock now our football match. So maybe with live video. Maybe danfwa. Ball. So I don't know. So ladies and gentlemen, it's not about I don't feel that there's anything for anybody to be angry about. So a lot of our histories have been well documented. A lot of our historians have done quite have done so much work on this history. I will forever remain grateful to my mentor, late Dr. Aishene Hagosa. That one useless boy, not Baolia or whatever, of Umowunokwa, said, who the hell is Dr. Aishene Hagosa? Let me tell, if the guy is here, probably some of you that is friends, he said he's the Olia of Umowunokwa. For the purpose of his stupidity, let me introduce who Dr. Aishene Hagosa is to him again, so that he will know. Dr. Aishene has written over 25 books. The only Benin historian that have written more books than Dr. Aisha Hagosa is Jacob Wade Arewa, that had 33 books to his honor. This is a man who was trained as a medical surgeon. At one point in time, he became the head of all medical doctors in former Edo Delta. Late Dr. Aisha Hagosa. His grandfather, Idemudia, was the only survivor he was the head of the Benin military at the Ologbo front. He was the only one that was not killed, executed by the British kangaroo court. Then his own father, Aisien, is the founder of Oben village. And he was the first secretary. Nagiti Awe BTC secretary. He was the first secretary to Obai. He was the first secretary in the history of Benin. Secretary to Obai Weka II. And he was also an Onhonsa of Ole Arosa. So, someone who has this illustrious antecedent, when Omaye primary one, when I gwag many where you talk, not take only have whatever. When you that don't have that, I mean, really primary one result well at you don't know your left from right. Now claim because you come from Momo Unohwa. Now claim that Dr. Aisha Hagosa was a liar. What would he have lied about? What could he have lied about? He's not the palace historian. He doesn't. Dr. Aisha has written books I have read that the works were completely against the palace history. And when I go and meet in the because that's the truth. As a scientist, do you know why most times I believe Dr. Aisha's work over most works? Why I choose him to be my mentor? Because he's a scientist. Scientists don't write until they are proofs. He was the first Benin historian, all right, that came from a scientific field. A scientist does not just write. They will have to inquire the real truth of a matter. They will have to make their proper findings and investigation, draw an hypothesis before they can draw their theory. They don't just write. They don't write by they must want to draw findings. And that is why when a scientist goes deep into history, they are unique in their form of their writing system. Why I love them because I also came from a very strong science background. So I could be able to relate with almost everything that he wrote. I could be able to relate when he was be able to divulge some mysteries, nedote taleo, and be able to say, oh, but this is what it represents, this is what it meant. So, Dr. Aisha never wrote any of his works by sentiment. Never wrote any of his work by sentiment. So then, one illiterate, name back Benin you talk. He's not saying that Dr. Aisha, late Dr. Aisha, that who the hell is he? No. F.A. Bella, you've not been following me. Maybe this is the first time you're following me. And if you know me by nature, I don't insult people. I don't. But when a small rat, let me get it very clearly. There are people I respect so much, and there are very few people. One of the person that I respect so much, I'm not insulting them, I'm just talking to one person that I respect so much because of what he has done for Benin Kingdom, is Dr. Aisha Hagosa. Then one small rat was insulting him. Anyway, you were in a place where your father was being insulted, and you know, if your father was being insulted, and you know that someone who is insulting you can omasi where the Dr. Aisen maybe you should go and read the when the Institute for Benin Studies were back, when we were writing the life and times of Dr. Aisen, about 8 European historians participated in the documentary of the life and times of Dr. Aisen. All right. And how he was installed as a modern day Jacob Wide Araiwa. They are not even disputing Messiah Kwase. They can't even dispute because they haven't even read it. Like I said, some of my brothers, some of my very good brothers, that when we had that very terrible argument that day, they now said that they were going to fight. You know what I told them? I said, in order for you to get the truth, go to Umo Wagbo. Go and inquire. This is not about Izoduwa. Go to Umo Wagbo, the very source of the history. Don't go to Umo Unokwa. There's already a sentiment of history hovering around Umo Unokwa that was passed down to their children, which is what I tagged wrong, because the source, the capital of Ugu Kingdom was Umo Wagbo. And I've established and I've proven it. I said, go to Umo and the guy caught someone from Umo. In short, I was with one of the sons of the Enogi of Umo 3 weeks ago. If some people were my wife, Rico, and I feel struggle with warrior. Why did they be one? I ever fear on Mamu Bokain and all of that. And I'm an historian, I'm coming, even if I'm not from those places. Anyway, I think we're done with this topic. I formally want to appreciate all of you that have been very, very supportive of our program that is coming up by next month, February 14th, Olu Dance Day. I'm very happy. You guys are most wonderful. Osa Nudazi Venikao. Where Ihenuyi Bave Ebokpanyahi Naya Boedo or Fiambuwaya. Or Fiambuwaya. You guys have been most amazing. I have to thank all of you. And like I said, community educators. Which of the the truth is, I have a property at Uhu. When I went to Uhu, I was trying to inquire. I was saying that I've read so much about Iye Nuhu. The founder, Iye Nuhu, was a woman. You understand? You're born in Arwan. You're wow no mudia ye karwan. Iye Nuhu. The legendary Eliburubu. Wama enade Eliburubu. Owa ama gbada pa omozo. No Arwan ya agbinoko. Edona tie Eliburubu. You're pay umozo ni. You understand? I know there are 3, but it's one because it was too big and here and all of that. I hear with that. Talk about your own village. Leave Umogunokwa. Talk about kakabo. If you are not satisfied, with it, tell your own story. Like I tell people, Uzwagbo is Uzuagbor. Like I tell people, when the guy was ranting, he said he's coming from Holland or Yene. Izoduwa does not run. Oh. Izoduwa does not run, most especially from historical debates. Izoduwa does not run. If you feel that I have lied against your history, if you feel that I have lied against your history, come out on a live video. Do your own. Tag me, and I will surely reply in 48 hours. Or if I'm less busy, I will surely reply. But if you want us to take it to another level, like I told the Oleya guy, no, not Igbin Oleya, I told him that, well, there's only one Oleya that is in Benin Kingdom, and that is Chief Ejion Oleya. I don't know of any Oleya, but since I don't know your name, assuming that you are actually the Oleya of blah, 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 whatever. He said he was going to come. I told him that meoma na gwalo na erere mie. Meoma na gwalo na erere mie. So ugaire agi like live video. Na do say bonu. My own joy is as far as we know where is under Benin Kingdom. We must talk about it until we find out the truth. So Okage do yahin. I walk by. And funny enough, almost all of these people migrated from everywhere. Most of these people who are in Umo Wunokwa came from, even some of these people that were even arguing, one of them said that you originally came from Isieme. If you are from Isieme, that means you originally came from Mu here, at Ikbubaha here. All right. I'm Igbehue now. That's my village now in Iyekoreon. But I was told by my grandfather before he died that we originally came from Oredo, Evieme. So every Benin man or woman came from the heart. Ekeniviedo yake zokba is at Oredo. The heart, the plains of Ogboka. Wamae Doni. The plains of Ogboka. Me I ask you when Doni. Amemaro naya kenaya amiedo okero ugbowodo okero ugbowodero. There's how you say it in. It's a parable in Benin. It is referring to the plains of Ogboka. The plains of Ogboka was not undulating, so I am okay. And Ugbowodo. Okay is hill. Ugbowodo is valley. The plains of Ogboka, which is probably the oldest place. It was the first place that a human being was ever found in the entire Benin Kingdom. The plains of Ogboka. For some of you do not know where the plains of Ogboka are, is the present day areas of Benin prison, Sapler Road, Yaladian, Ugbefun St. Matthew, Yaladian, Sokpomba. Those were what we call the plains of Ogboka. Ukboni, it's not undulating. It's a very straight road. All right. Every Edo person evolved from that area of Benin. And we begin to go to different places. From different places, some will migrate. So I had and all of that. So Benin's migrated from different places. Like for me, I'm originally from Evieme in Oredo at close to Ibiwe there. From there, according to the story, I documented it in my book, in search of one of their sisters. So my great-great-great-grandfather, Aluge, left with his younger brother. That one, eventually, that line is cut off on Imabie. And so that one left. That's my great-great-grandfather. He left in search of their sister, who was at Bazogbe Nugu. Oh, and so in going there, he now decided to branch at Igbehue, and he settled there. That has been the lines of the Lamogun family at Igbehue, and which I am part of it. We're originally not from there. Okero Gbodoro Kinaya Bo Ogboka. Exactly. Where's it on why? Okero Gbogodo Kinaya Bo Ogboka. That we call it the plains of Ogboka. It has no hill. It has no hill. It has no hill. It has no valley. Oke is hill. Ugbogodo is valley. John Edwin. I don't know whether you're referring to me. I'll go to Igbe page to tell him to stop fake history. Anybody who wants to speak fake history should speak fake history. That's my headache. And moreover, I have said that that guy's name should not be mentioned here. I have no business with him. He's not the only person who is talking a lot of fake history about Benin. Yeah, boom. What concerns me? Okay, with that, Monkey Face have been looking to ever since Monkey Face started his madness. Have you ever seen him? I don't think I've mentioned him more than three, 4 times. Now, if they call my page, I've never been to his page once. Okay, okay. So I've never been to, I've never been to any. I don't. It's not. I don't have that. I don't have that time. People shouldn't say I'm bragging and all of that. I don't have that time. Either the yeah, yeah, damn it, you know. Okay. Ah. Oh, okay. You weren't talking to me, Johnny Bizube. Don't go there. I want to go. If you're not, maybe you've not been following me, join Bizube. If you follow me, you just know that I'll be the last person to go there. People send even the live video he was doing. I think 4 or 5 persons have forwarded it to me. I don't even know the content of what is within there. It is not in my place. But like I said, I don't discuss people. I discuss history. I don't discuss people. I discuss history. If it's lying there, if it's talking about a history that is confusing, then you bring it to this platform, then we'll trash it. That's how I run my package. All right. I have never engaged in any propaganda. It is not my selling point. All right. It is not my selling point. I don't engage in propaganda. It is not my selling point. So it is not in my place to add our talent, you know. Oh, sorry. I thought you were referring to me. No, wala, John Edwin. So I know. So, please, on our Oloyi Dance Day, we are still massively doing a lot of preparation. And I don't know how we can put it on eBay as a matter of fact. But Institute for Benin Studies, we are currently working on because we have all the past works. There's a project we currently want to embark on now by God helping us. Our daddy he told me of that work shortly before he died. Then he was now bedridden. He was working on a masterpiece book. He published one around February. It was like a pamphlet of the assignment that his first daughter, who is also a medical doctor in US, he has about four of his children almost medical doctors in US. Then that man not talk shy. They say me cannot cause her. Now that nobody they say who is Dr. Aisen anyway, man not talk. I think it was an assignment that he was given that one of his first daughter was given that I've forgotten the title of the book. He wrote that February, March. It was like a pamphlet. I have a copy of it. Yes, I have a copy of it. I wish I did house now for just shown her the copy. That was the last book. But he was working on another masterpiece book shortly before he died. The book was almost completed. So now, Institute of Benin for Benin Studies, we are planning to discuss with the family so that we can publish that book. Since all right, so I will not be able to tell all the history of all communities, but we are trying. Like I said, my major project I've not been able to embark on it was that every community we're going to set up a research team that is going to go to every communities in Benin Kingdom so that they can tell their story. We have a video documentations about all community, all stories of every community in Benin Kingdom because um, every community is almost losing their true history. So the greatest thing I ever did for my community 3 years ago was to write the history of Igbehueni Ekorion. So I have ensured that the history of that my community will never, will never, uh, will never lose it because almost all the people, the man who actually gave me one of the most authentic narration about the history, I didn't even see Imadere Ewao. It was inside a very dark room on your mind. It's bedridden. So menato tai by omaya no ta on a tie. So I was recording, I was writing when I was doing that project. It was most interesting. My grandfather told me a lot about the Lamogun, but we needed to know the story of Menaya Boy, the original owners of that community, the Egbe Laiso. All right, they are direct descendants of the Emehi family, Emehi lines. All right, they are direct descendant of it. So he, Memadege Ewawa, I still don't know that man, but I think he has died. I probably was the oldest man in my community at that time. You understand? So thank God I was able to take from his knowledge before he passed on. So most of our communities, Emanigele Ohani, we're almost losing almost all of them. So that is why I'm going to take pain by God's grace. I'm going to take pain um, to to try, if God enable me, to set up a research team, you understand, to be going from one local government to document every story of every community. I know a Webanosa. The inaugural of a Webanosa, Professor Greg Akendra. It's like a daddy to me. I know him very, very well. Professor Greg Akendra. I know him very well. I know a Webanosa very well. A video of what? Sakbolo Iwudao. So these are, let's say I should start with Yekorean. Yekorean oh man, Ogu Kingdom. I will start from the very beginning. Already. You understand? So Oviedo Pata, who's your brother that once worked with me? Who's your brother that once worked? Oviedo Pataki. I didn't fire anybody recently. Oh no, it's not a video. It's a book. It's a written book, a video. Mm-hmm. Okay, why you make great grand? Yes, like hey, I was going to talk about that. I don't have the full story. I want to get a property for someone at Uhu. All right. When we were bargaining for the property. So and I remember that. I've read one time in passing Iyenu. So I was not asking that. Ema Iyenu, they took me to The shrine, very big. Or why the shrine, the stream. It's more of like Neneze Kane, Nowa Diawegani Yenu and all of that. Then I asked, then I tried to inquire that how far, bros. Tell me the story. You know, say me, my normal self, I must any village I enter, I must want to wait in the shop. Tell me the story of this village. About 3 or 4 persons that I met, they say, bros, me not lie, you know you know. Blend I one man like that, and I know you not the town. You understand? Yes, the river is under a big tree. In short, one of my brother buy land very close to that. You know, we're dating her. You know, you know. Yes, they are from Edo State. They are from Benin. I think there's a documentary about that. I will Dobian. I'm aware now. Mr. Amo will your um, put put what on my screen. So basically, see, my advice to Edo people, Agmonden, Edo wa Agmoden, Temata, Ibude, ni uniri na maniwe Edo. Oh yeah. Uh, uh, Eriabu, so Pokpano, Osa, Venikao no Boedo, Ori Tinima, the Mayahon Gwega. I mean, me as like victory. I said, do. Boy is low, I do is raining. God. Uh, you know, the point, the point I'm trying to raise is this: we have a lot of enemies, surroundings, and all of that. Like I said in the beginning, for some of you that were not around, I'm currently in Lagos. I had an emergency last night for an emergency meeting in Lagos. There is a big conspiracy against the Oba of Benin. Very big one. I don't want preempt. I don't want preempt people. It gets on my guys for I don't want to mention their name. Strong men for Facebook. Me the now you suppose now me and you suppose come pick me for hotel now so that the matter I will enjoy with Lekki and all of that. I just tell them say I need to do live video. You understand? That's why you know even there online, maybe in the enjoying live. He was almost crying last week because when we got to find that the conspiracy against the palace is huge, in few weeks it will start coming out. No. We can't say it because we have to plan our own countermeasure. You understand? So the ancestors. I wrote an article 2 weeks ago. You people remember that article was conspiracy against Obaiweka and all of that. Uh-huh. So it's a way. It's a way I'm trying to prepare our minds for what is to come. You know, some people they build palace now for inside Benin Kingdom. Or mine or Eshuno. But we are aware of every single meetings that they have done. All of them. I don't want to mention names. People in high places. We are aware. And God willing, we've studied a lot of our history. We've studied some of the loopholes. We studied some conspiracies. We are very well informed. This time around, we will not lose. So these are, okay. This man is the fourth generation of Agbo Sana. Okay, I'll put my number now. I'll put my number now so that you can direct me. I need to know the history of ENO. You get one old man supposed to go and go see this week. There's someone I supposed to go and see sometime this week. There's a story he wants to tell me about Oka, all the Okas. So, no, before then, we are putting our counter measures on ground. I've been mandated to brief some powerful Edo sons and daughters in Lagos this week. I don't want to give an exact date. And I'm also being mandated to give the way out of what can be done. So, and it is only being possible by God, by the power of God and our ancestors, that some of us are getting to a position whereby they cannot believe our advice, they cannot believe our informations. Okay, tell you why we do. So, I'm smiling because I might mean on my sunu do there, and I do always come out strongly. So I don't think we all should be too scared about it. All right, we'll go by the time it goes out in the public. Would have been not very aware of how. By that time, our counter strategy is already on ground. Itan of Edo, Abedo Yoko, Niamana Mwegbe, Edo Mwegbe, Nyanke Yoko. One of the frontiers of the imperialism of the Edo people. Edo people never went into any war in rush. Edo will prepare their military for months before they will go to war, and that was our impediment during the British 1897. The war was sudden. We have not prepared. So we don't rush into war. We take our time. We observe. We observe, then we plan. So, so all of these things, me full my head. All of these things, when I see truly threats from high places, when I mean echelon of high places, threats from high places, when I see all of these cascades of big problems, then do you think, okay, parable, okay, anyone, do you think I will not be bothered about one non-entity? No, no. So, itano wedavi ikede do yazo we. It's step by step that you take a footstep or something, something like that. It's just that I be too like beneath parable. It's just that Mary, every flow say he tendori any egbe. I think it's like that, step by step. Ah, yeah. Something like that. You understand? So, but the reality of the matter is this. Thank you, Efibella. Maybe you've not been following my show. My shows are exciting.